Hello, Saudi Cup, and Assalamu alaikum to our freedom fans around the world. I'm here with my brother Matt, a lead commentator for Freedom. This is going to be the first Freedom podcast that we're going to give the Muay Thai community worldwide. We're going to be talking about different issues that the fans and the people want to hear talk about. But first, I want to give a huge shout out to our sponsor, Palestine Drinks, serving the best of the best drinks, not only cola, but now they have energy drinks and very own water. So shout out to Palestine Drinks. Make sure you follow them and check them out and order their stuff. It's going to be some of the best drinks you've ever had. And with that said, they're going to be available on our next show. So, what you got to say, man?
I'm excited. I'm excited for this. The fans are excited for this. We got a lot of good feedback. We got some good questions and comments. So hopefully on this podcast and in the future we'll address many topics in the world of Muay Thai. So I'm ready to get started, man. I'm excited.
Yeah, I mean, everybody's been talking about, many different topics. They want us to, answer different questions. What is the first one that we have for us that's coming in our way?
So our first question is, how can we see our long-term amateur fighters turn pro?
That's a good one. How to see amateur fighters turn pro.
Yeah, that is a good topic. And to that point, I don't know how many people have been following it, but right now a lot of our amateurs and a lot of our top amateurs from Freedom are fighting now internationally. And from what I've been seeing and hearing, they have been whooping on some pros from around the world. So this just speaks to the level of the amateurs in the U.S. that they are more than ready to take the step to the pro level. But I think they want or need more incentive, whether it be financial, or notoriety. I think that when they, especially for the younger guys, when they see a path to success, they're going to take it. So I think it's incumbent on the older guys that have been around longer. Say the guys that are like myself, like I'm taking a step, I'm going pro in September. A lot of guys been hanging around as amateurs for a while. Let's lead the way for these younger guys. Go pro, show them that, you can go pro and be successful in Muay Thai. And we are at that level or higher. People have been talking about American Muay Thai. Well, they're around the world showing them now that we are at that level and higher.
On that note, shout out to Bishop, who's in this amateur tournament in WBC in Thailand, who just, I think, knocked out a professional in that tournament. So shout out to him. Time and time again, we've shown that we have some of the best fighters, amateurs included. But to answer the question, how to go from amateur to pro, for one, you have to fight as much as you can without being picky, without saying I only do Muay Thai, I don't do kickboxing, I only fight with no gear, or I fight this or that. Just fight. That's how the international fighters in Europe and other side of the world are getting all this experience. You'll see pro fighters go to certain countries where they gotta do elbow pads and they still wear them, and they're like big names, whereas over here you got people that are amateurs, they're not even a big name, they're not even pro or a big name, and they're very picky. Just fight. Just take as much fights as you can and get as much experience so you can have the confidence to turn pro. Talking about confidence, promoters gotta support the fighters also. They have to give the opportunities that encourage the amateurs to turn pro. A perfect example is, I believe, Chris Tapia, one of the top elite amateur fighters in the country that finally turned pro. And, they need that push. When I gave the call to Tapia, about turning pro, and, we talked, that I talked to his team about getting the right fights to build them up, taking the right fights. They were, motivated and felt like it was the right thing to do. When you have a promoter that is actually taking care of you and they're showing you, this is the right steps, and they make you feel like you're doing the right thing, it also helps. So one, you have to make sure that you get as much experience as you can, and two, you gotta have the confidence to to take that leap. And part of having that confidence is making sure you have the right people behind you. Like once a fighter like Tapia felt like he was at a place where he was comfortable, he was able to be confident in making that decision. And this is how you do it. So to answer that question, get as many fights as you can, and two, make sure you have the right people behind you to be able to take you to that next level.
And to that point, when they say American Muay Thai is not growing, how do you feel about that?
Oh yeah. Real quick, and I want to piggyback on something you said about high-level pros from around the world. One thing that opened my eyes. I remember one day I'm watching a fight. I think it was in France or somewhere. I saw Fabio Pinca. I don't know if everyone don't know who he is, but well-known fighter, over 100 fights, fighting with elbow pads on. I was like, man, Fabio Pinca can fight with elbow pads on. Who are these amateurs with 10 fights, 15 fights, saying they don't want to wear elbow pads,
Saying I don't want to fight with Shingy.
Yeah. Like, that's not what makes the fight. Fighting makes the fight. Like you said, you gotta fight. You gotta train, and you gotta start training like a professional now. Not when you declare you're going pro. Start training and eating and acting like a pro. Being a professional is a practice. There's something you gotta start right now. If you want to be one, you start training that way now. Like, you don't see college players start training like NFL players when they get to the NFL. They start in high school now, or these kids starting in grade school now.
Yeah, that's why, if you notice, we hold a lot of youth fights, and if they have experience, we have them, where the regulation allows it, of course, we have them fighting with no headgear or no senior to get them ready. So like if they're older, getting ready to turn, adults, we allow them to fight with no gear, only elbow pads, so they can be ready for it. So that's why you see Freedom is big on promoting a lot of kids fights, and also with the experienced ones being able to fight with no gear, so they can be ready. This is all about getting ready to take that next step.
Yeah, and I think that the more these sanctioning bodies see, oh, you want to promote professional fights, they'll be more open to these rules. But when you approach a sanctioning body and it's all amateurs, well, then they're like, oh, these guys.
You have mismatched fights.
Yeah.
Mismatched fights just to benefit a ticket seller. That's one of the worst things that you could do. But let's go to that second question, second topic.
When they say American Muay Thai is not growing, how do you feel about it?
It's growing.
Yeah, I feel like there's.
It bothers me when I hear that.
Yeah, I think that's a narrow viewpoint. I think it's naive to say that it's not growing. It's not at the biggest point it could be, but it's on the way. Look at, just from my experience in the past, my experience, I've been training for about 11 to 12 years now. From where it was then to now, it's a world of difference. You didn't see, where was Freedom when I started? Where were shows like Freedom when I started? You didn't see that yet. It was still same old shows, you didn't see belts like these when I started fighting. And so, come on, like, the sport is growing. It's growing. How you feeling?
It bothers me when it says that it's not growing, especially with everything that Freedom has done in just 4 years. It's like, I say this example all the time. When you pull up to a red light and there's a Lamborghini next to you and you don't acknowledge it, what does that mean? You know that word. But I don't want to talk about negativity too much, but this is, Freedom has, in 4 years, has done so much, not for American Muay Thai, but it has changed fighters' lives, or even internationally, and given them opportunities. Perfect example of the young superstar, Olivia Bassus. Who's now in one championship. So like when you say that American Muay Thai is not growing, what do you call having 10, 11 shows a year with Freedom in different places, in different states? What do you call when you have 2 shows within 7 days in different parts of the country? Again, with Freedom. What do you call when the biggest champions from around the world are fighting on Freedom in America? This is growing the sport. You have to acknowledge it, but if you don't want to acknowledge it, that's fine. We're going to continue leveling up, and to answer the question, yeah, American Muay Thai is growing. But when your mindset is small, you see things small. So when you have good eyes with a big mindset, then you're gonna have that mindset where you can see it. So I guess it goes back to the person looking at the picture.
All right, and to that point, how do you think amateurs and pro fighters can turn themselves promotable?
Well, I know one thing that a lot of guys can do, and it's just simply one, stay in the gym. Stay in the gym and be active. For one, that gives you, the content is right in front of you. When you're in the gym and you're active, the content is right in front of you. Cut the camera on. Film some stuff. Everything is not going to be perfect, but you got to get used to being in front of cameras. You're going to be nervous at first, and then over time, you start building up a following. You got to keep the people, and you got to look outside of the people that you grew up with. That's one thing a lot of young guys, they think that the people, just the people you grew up with and your immediate people are the only people that's going to support you. No, most of your support is going to come from people you haven't even met yet. So you got to be willing to expose yourself to the bigger world outside of your bubble, and then I think that's when you start to elevate yourself and feel that support.
The question, the issue is what? How do you mix it?
How do we turn our amateur and pro fighters into promotable fighters?
With social media now, it's so easy to do that, But just like it's so easy to destroy yourself as well, But social media is easy to promote yourself from amateur to pro and building your name and brand. But the only way to do it is by actually doing it. You can't be that fighter that say, oh, I don't like to go on social media and I don't like to post and I don't like to, go out and do this and that. Whether you know it or not, you're an entertainer. People pay money to come watch you fight. So if you don't want to do it, then don't say you want to fight. It's at the end of the day, people, when you fight, people come pay money to watch you fight. So you are what they say in the fight world, a prize fighter. You're an entertainer. You have to do these things, and if you don't, you're not gonna promote yourself into a profitable fighter. But if you do, the benefits, what are they? You get more opportunities, you get bigger opportunities, and you do make money. You do make money. So how do you make money? You get sponsors, but sponsors are not gonna come your way when you don't have a following, when you don't promote yourself. And how else you can make money? You could make shirts. You could simply make shirts that people will like, and then you'll get people that don't even do Muay Thai. They're not even your friends that might want to order it. So there's so many different ways. How else you could do that? When you start promoting yourself, maybe you could actually start saying, I'm going to be a personal trainer, and then you can make money that way. So, and then you could be making money that people don't make in an hour in one session. So there's so many different ways. If you just start with something small, just take a picture, post it, and be in everybody's face. Okay, every day post something and promote yourself. If you don't like yourself, why are people going to like yourself?
Nah, so that's facts. That's facts right there. Yeah.
All right, let's branch off into a different topic. Let's talk about the conflict of having different sanctioning bodies and how we can handle that.
That's an easy one as well too. It's hard for some people, but go ahead. You want to say, or you want
to pass that one to you?
I got you. So the issue of having different sanctioning bodies and how to handle it, it's very easy. Everybody gets always bothered by that, but it's a big issue. But it's very easy how. It's like complaining about having different opponents. You're in the fight world where you're going to see different opponents. You can't go into a fight and be like, listen, you don't fight like my last opponent, so you got to stop fighting that way. You got to fight me like my. That's a stupid mindset. So what do you do when you have that opponent keep changing, styles keep changing? You adapt, right? So you have to adapt with the sanctioning body, with the rules. It's very simple. Okay, I understand that it's a problem where different states has different rules and different judges and where they see things differently. But a punch is a punch, and a kick is a kick, and a black eye is a black eye, and a broken rib is a broken rib, and somebody getting dropped is somebody getting dropped. Those things don't change. Don't change. I say this example to my fighters all the time. If I hit you 50 times and you hit me 100 times, who wins? They all say the guy that hit 100 times. And I say, no, not necessarily. Because, yeah, I only hit you 50 times and you hit me 100 times, but there's 3 judges. The one judge didn't see all those hits get land, and another judge didn't like yours versus thought your technique was not as strong as his technique, and the third one was just so occupied mentally because he had family issues and he's got problems in his life, and he's a human being. He looks like he's looking at the fight, but he's occupied here, so he only sees some of those hits, you know. So that's how you get these robberies, and you think, oh, it was a close fight, you know, because judges are not seeing everything the way that you want to see it at the time that you want to see it. But now, if I hit you 1 time and you hit me 0 times, can we argue about it? We can't argue about it. So what does that mean? You have to not focus on just the rule setting of that sanctioning body, but also making sure that you're not getting hit. It's about hitting and not getting hit. I don't want to fight you, because if I fight you, now we're taking back and forth and I might get robbed. I just want, and fight. That means I'm hitting you and you're not hitting me. And that's how you win these fights, and that's how you handle these different sanctioning bodies with different rule setting. It's okay. You can't focus too much on the negativity or see it in a negative way. It might not even be a negative thing that there's different sanctioning bodies, whatever. It is what it is. You can't spend too much time worrying about that issue. Just like having a different opponent with a different style. Move on, learn how to adapt, and get ready for it. That's my mentality, at least, and that's how you handle it.
It's something you always talk about before fights, you know, here at the gym, and even before fights to the fighters. Don't leave it to the judges. You don't it don't matter who the sanctioning body is if they sleep, if they knocked out, like you said, or if they got a black eye. You know what I'm saying? You don't leave it to the judges. And again, like you said on the previous question, we're performers. We're entertainers. Put on the show, no matter what the rule set is. If you perform to your best of your abilities, you're gonna win most of the time. You're gonna win most of the time if you perform. So, you know, like you said, the judges are watching you, not just the strikes you land. They're watching you when you're on your corner. You know what I mean? But if you walk back to your corner every time, I landed more punches though. You know, no, but you in the corner, you landed 2 more punches. He in the corner chilling, and you in the corner. My last fight, I got to the corner, and I'm chilling. I'm good. I look over, judge staring right at me in my eye. I winked at him.
Still judging you.
Still judging me. He dead stared. I winked at him and smiled, just to let him know. You know what I mean? So you gotta be in the moment.
Don't let this different sanctioning bodies, waste your time of how to adapt. So just make sure that to answer that question again, make sure that you're doing your job and not getting hit, not just doing your job while trading. So just be ready to adapt. That's how you handle different sanctioning bodies. Be ready to adapt.
On to our next question. Why is there a national and world title on Freedom instead of just the promotional title?
I've gotten that question a lot. Why there's a national and world versus just a promotional title like other promotions. So the reason why is, well, for one, if you notice some promotions, they only have promotional titles, and just recently they started doing a promotional national or promotional world. You know, so we trendsetters.
I see a lot of changes after.
But the reason why there is a national world versus just a promotional is because from the beginning I knew Freedom was going to go worldwide from the rip, and I knew that we were going to go to different countries that is going to have fighters that cannot get a visa to travel and fight and defend. So that's why I didn't want to just make a promotional title, you know, and that's why I didn't just make it a promotional world title, because it wasn't going to be fair for that fighter that cannot fight for that belt because he doesn't have the visa. So that's why we made national as well. That's one. 2, also so it can be a stepping stone, you know. So first they got to get into getting ranked, and then second become a national champion, then going to world. Well, the main reason was because I thought about those fighters that were going to be in other countries, other parts of the world, that were not going to get visas to be able to defend.
I want to answer this question because that was from a promoter's point of view. As a fighter, how it made me feel as a fighter, you know, when I won the USA national title, I wasn't just the champion of Philadelphia or the champion of New York. Because there's a lot of cats that win belts and you only defend it there against people from around your neighborhood. No, I'm the champion of the United States. That's the whole country. I mean, all the people at my way in the country at that time, I was the champion of. You know what I'm saying? When you win a world title on Freedom, you're a world champion of that weight class. Not just people up and down the interstate. No, world champion. You fought someone from another country and you beat them. So as a fighter, it gives you much more pride. And I hear it. I hear that people, you know, I'm still around the fighters and in the locker rooms, and I hear them talking. They're like, man, I want to win one of those titles, one of those national titles, one of those world titles. You know, they're not talking about, you know, just the green belt everybody's talking about right now.
So just to finish off on this question, another topic, another question that was said to us regarding what to bring up, the fact that there's different belts designs. So I have a design for the amateur USA and another design for the amateur world, just like there's another design for the pro USA or the pro national title and the pro world title. And the reason why, so they could be distinguished of which champion they are. So you have the USA one, the amateur USA, and you have the professional world. For example, they're right here. And the reason why, they're like, oh, why did you make the amateur USA, the amateur national belt, the biggest? I guess in a way, because I was like, that's going to be the amateur national belts were going to have more fighters in. So I wanted to make sure that the amateur fighters of the elite that do end up earning this title and this belt are proud and happy because they deserve this. You know, they don't want to give them just another belt that they're going to forget about. You know, that's going to be just like another belt for them. Every time they pick up that Freedom belt and they pick up that 25-pound belt, they remember how heavy it is, to remember how important they are, to make them remember always how proud they should be of themselves. But that's why each belt has their own design.
All right, on to our next question. Why does Freedom travel state to state instead of just having one home?
Kind of following up with the last one. I'm going to let you go first, man.
So, if you recall, 4 years ago when we started Freedom, we went from Delaware to New York to California within 3 states in 4 months. 3 states in 4 months, in different parts of the world. You know, like they're not like, you know, really close or right next door across the bridge. So the reason why is because I wanted to give every fighter an equal opportunity. Like I said, from the beginning, I knew Freedom was going to go worldwide, and I knew that they was going to travel, because that was my mission, you know, to give every fighter equal opportunities, not to give the guy in this part of the world an opportunity because he's close to me and he can sell tickets, and then the other person no. So I wanted to make sure everybody gets opportunities, and then if they become a champion or they do get ranked up high, they get to be on the show. So this way, when we travel in different places, you'll see different fighters, and with that, with what comes with different fighters, different fans, and this is how you grow the sport, and this is how we all grow in the sport. This is how American Muay Thai is growing. We're not just in one city or region. We're not a city promotion, and we're not a regional promotion. We're not even a national promotion. We are an international promotion. And this is why we travel. So it's for the fighters. It's for the fighters. And when you give more opportunities for more fighters, comes more fans, becomes bigger market.
I think as a fighter, I really love that because it gives you, like, you don't gotta wait till a tournament to find out, to test yourself against this guy from California or this guy from Chicago. You know, you don't gotta wait till a tournament. We're gonna find out on this promotion that is gonna put you up against the best guys. again, from all around the country, not just the guys around where you're from. And I think as a fighter, it gives you a bigger sense of pride knowing that you can't hide. You can't hide and hold one of these belts. You're not safe. It ain't safe being a freedom champion.
We don't take no rough fights.
Nah.
And that's just giving them easy fights.
Yeah, there's no easy path to being a champion. So guys are like, well, how this guy he won a title in X amount of fights? Yeah, but trust me, he will be tested. Ask any of these guys who have had freedom belts and are currently title holders. They have been or they will be tested.
All right. On to our next question. How do you feel about the topic everyone is talking right now in regards to people trying to hold back freedom and telling some fighters that they can't fight on the promotion?
We're not going to talk about that one. I don't want to spend time talking about negativity. I don't want to talk about anyone. You do not, in any business in life, I hope everybody's listening. Any business in life, you don't succeed by focusing on how to hurt people. The reason why freedom has gotten so big in just 4 years is because we focused on doing good and being good and helping others do good. That's the best way to be successful in anything in life, to focus on you and bettering you. So that topic is not something that I know that it was brought up a few times to us, but we're not going to talk about it because I wish everybody good. I really, in my heart, I wish everybody good. And for those that don't wish me good, what I have to say to you is not something bad, but listen to this. To those that do wish me good and do wish freedom good, I wish for you what you wish for me. And that's the end of that.
All right, and on to our last question. What are some things that are unique for freedom that you don't find on promotions in the U.S.?
Say that again?
What are some things that are unique to freedom that you won't find anywhere in the U.S.?
Yeah, well, for me, right off the top, as a commentator, even as a fighter, there's the Freedom Parade to start off the show, and the second one piggybacks right off of that is the kits, the outfits. I mean, I have the first one, and to now, you're looking at 40 unique. I said 40 because that's you're about to see the 41st show. 41 unique outfits, which again, you can tell that it's more than just talk when Rami says that freedom is for the fighters, because what it does, it makes the fighters feel unique. It makes the fighters feel special. When I walk into the press conference or the weigh-in and I see this new kit with my name on it, in my space for me, and I'm being taken care of, it's guys I know have fought on some of what people consider the top promotions from around the world, and they come to freedom and they're like, man, I haven't been treated like this. And I'm like, I wasn't expecting guys who fought on some of these higher level promotions to say that. I know some of the guys that I fought nationally, but guys who have fought internationally saying the same thing. I haven't been treated like this. That speaks volumes. So that's the third thing is how the fighters are treated. The outfits, the parade in the beginning of the show. It's great for the fighters. They all get to walk out. You get to absorb the energy in the room, and I think it leads to a better performance from the fighters, and that's why you see some of these crazy, exciting shows. Some things
all those things are good qualities. Freedom, as far as the things that you said, like the outfits. They're not just outfits. They have meaning. Like, for example, the next show in July. For the 250th anniversary, we're doing jerseys to respect the nation that it's in for its 250th anniversary for the USA. So one corner is going to wear that one, and the other corner is going to be to celebrate the New York Knicks winning. So we're going to have one side wearing the New York Knicks theme design, and the other one versus the USA, the 250th anniversary design. So they're not just designs. I really do. I do put my heart into designing these things for the fighters, and coming to the press conference to promoting them, to teach, not only to give them, something to be proud of, but to teach them how to be ready to become professional stars. So this is why we are growing the sport. This is why we are making American Muay Thai better. And it is growing because we're giving these opportunities and showing them how to have public speaking skills, bro. Like you have to. Not only do they feel good about themselves, but it's also teaching them. And also, if you see at the press conference, I have all the fighters sit down and eat together. So the reason why I put them sitting down and I put them on the same table, so there's a reason why I do this on Freedom, so they could. When I was a fighter, I had to go through hell and back to get what I wanted and what I deserved. More importantly, and I was never brought to be on that table with everybody. Where I can have my opportunity. Even now, with coach with my fighters, it's been hard. Like that's why I started Freedom. So I wanted to make a table, my own table. They didn't want to bring me to the table, so I brought my own table. And then now I'm bringing fighters to this table, and we are eating together, and we are growing together. I hope you are listening. This is why Freedom does this. I made this table so all fighters from all over can sit together, eat together, grow together. Because we is stronger than I. And this is my mentality. And this is just something small, okay, to some people, but to the bigger picture, it's huge. And this is how we get bigger, and this is how we are not only getting, but are bigger. And the parade is a beautiful thing too, also, to you giving these fighters memories, man. Like these kids, some pros never been treated like this in their life, and then they see it, they'll see a kid fight and they're like, man, I'm standing next to this professional champion of the world in the same ring. So these are moments that they will forever remember. These are for the fighters. This is for them, giving them just a little bit of what they deserve so much from. And and just so you know, I'm not done. I'm gonna keep giving. I'm gonna keep giving. The more God gives me, I'm gonna give back more. And like a lot of these things that you're seeing that Freedom has been doing from the very beginning, giving everybody for free outfits, free everything. Now, some who might think they are competition are copying our ways. And that I'm not upset, because I get people to be like, yo, they've never done that. They've been promoting all these shows and they've never done that. Now they're doing that. What do you feel? I'm like, well, I'm not mad.
It's good. They should.
It's okay. Good. Let the fighters get that.
Right. The fighters deserve it.
Let the fighters get that, because I'm happy for the fighters. This is what it's about. But it's not the same. There's levels to this. And Freedom was on another one.
I heard something too. I heard that I know I like the Knicks thing, but I heard in September that the uniforms might be kind of representing the Eagles, because it's September.
I don't know who told you that.
It's football season. You know what I mean? Bird gang.
Well, it's going to be 2 shows in September, so I'm not sure, but the free one.
We need a little something. Shout out to the Knicks, man. They deserve it. They did their thing.
I don't even know. Who the hell is Knicks, bro?
Taj.
He might be hearing this, bro. I should have kicked him out wearing that damn Knicks hat coming to that last show like crazy.
Oh, man.
Anything you want to...
No, this has been fun. I like this. Man, we're going to keep it going as much as we can. And, I like the topics. Keep them coming. Keep the topics coming. There's so much more to talk about. Like, this is just a teaspoon of what's possible, the things we can talk about. It's so much, we're not shy to discuss things. So keep bringing it to the table. We'll keep, bringing y'all the space to have voice.
Your voice be heard. This is what it's about. Freedom has always been for the fighters, and whatever you don't like, we bring it up to our attention. We will work on making it better. Whatever issue that you feel should be talked about, we will talk about it. But just know that we are not here to talk about anyone and hurt anyone. We want to do good. The only way you could do good is by thinking good. You can't. That's not Muay Thai. That's in anything in life. For you to do positive things, you have to think positive. It's like a fight. You can't do good things in a fight if you're upset and angry, you know? So we are here to do things the right way by thinking the right way and talking the right way. This is how you become better in life, and this is how you become better in anything that you do. With that said, this is going to be something that we do every week, and if you guys want to send us, like some of you have done, sent us privately, you can send us private messages of what things you want to be talked about, and we are happy to bring it up and give you our feedback and make things better for you.
Yeah, it don't gotta be in the comment section. You know, some people are shy. You can shoot a DM. It's between us. Everybody don't want to, be known as a person. So it could be an anonymous topic. You know what I mean? But we want to hear from them. We want to hear from people. Shout out to everybody who's tuning in now. Anybody in the chat, shout out to y'all. Thank you for joining in. And feel free to chime in the chat. I don't know if anybody is in there talking or saying anything, but I don't mind chopping it up with y'all live. What's going on, y'all? What's up?
Again, shout out to Palestine Drinks, the best drink in the world. We appreciate you for what you're doing. By the way, for those that don't know, there are 100% profit going to the charity for Palestinian people. Okay? They don't take anything. So nothing.
We do have one question coming in from Thomas Mander asking about the $10,000 tournament.
Ooh.
What's the question?
He wants to know if there's any new details you could drop.
Uh-oh.
So yeah, I mean, everybody has seen them. So some people have asked why am I not allowed to comment? Like the video stated, for you to be able to comment, we did the setting where you have to be a follower of freedom. You can't not follow freedom and want to suggest something to freedom. You know, if you don't acknowledge that Lamborghini that's parked up right next to you, then you can't talk about it because you don't even want to acknowledge it. So to answer that question, so it's happening December 19th. Everybody knows that the 67 kilogram welterweight division, and I will say right off the rip, without even looking at the numbers and looking at the votes and who has bigger voting, Thomas Mandra being the world champion, the champion of the world, he's already in that division. He's already in that tournament. So I hope that answers your question, Thomas. You're the champion of the world in the division. So you, by default, you get into it right away.
Tommy, like, what's up with that? Okay, baby.
He's in.
I know that's right.
I don't blame him. I don't blame him.
Yeah, that was a good
To
one.
talk about that, if there's any questions you can tell us, but to talk about that, this is what I mean when they say American Muay Thai is not big and we're not growing. Who's doing that? Not $10,000 in 3 shows or in a show that doesn't happen. It's happening in one night, and it's all 3-round fights. And after that night is over, that fighter is going home with $10,000. We are growing the sport. American Muay Thai is getting bigger. We are getting bigger opportunities. These are facts. You might deny them. You might pretend like freedom is not doing it, but we're doing them. And we're not doing them for you to talk about us. We're doing them for the fighters. You know, we are here to give the fighters and make their dreams come true. Closing words?
That's it. I like that. I'm glad Tommy challenged in. That was perfect timing. Because that's what everybody's talking about right now. So we got a date. Y'all know who the man at the top is. The world champion's at the top. So, come and get it. Come.
I
get that 10K.
Something that I didn't tell everybody. So I'm going to do a Grand Prix belt for that tournament. Was there anybody else?
We have Elijah coming in wondering, are there any more confirmed names for the tournament?
No, we're gonna let the poll go until July 25th. After July 25th, so this is how it's gonna go down. The voting are gonna keep going all the way till July 25th. After July 25th, I will make another post, give it the Muay Thai World 24 hours to give a final vote for whoever they choose. So the deadline is going to be that. So we're waiting till July 25th, and then after that we'll make another post, give it 24 hours for final voting to be closed. So basically, you got like 4 more weeks to vote it, and then we'll see who gets the opportunity. You know, because we're in different countries. The algorithms is different, so we want to make it fair for everybody. You know, like one of the fighters, he's from the Middle East, and Instagram is not like so big. You know, so as it is here, so we're giving them time to be able to see it and have enough time to be able to show support to their fighter. I want to do this right by every fighter all over the world. You know, that's why we're not rushing into it. I'm not gonna look into it until then. And then another topic about, because I had a lot of fighters that said because it was close, they think it was close with the lightweight division, so we might do something for them as well. I'm in talks, and I like to please my fighters.
I mean, for those of y'all like in the other divisions, I don't see this as a one-time thing, especially with the buzz. I can sense this is going to be huge. I think even bigger. I don't know. I think it's going to be bigger than I thought it would be at first. Once words start to travel around and I got people texting me, I'm like, oh, hey, they asking me about what's going on? I heard it's 10K on the line. I'm like, oh, people who've never texted me about freedom. So I'm excited. This is dope. Oh man, the build-up is gonna be crazy.
It's gonna be insane. It's gonna be insane. This is what freedom is here for, to do what's right by the fighters and give them more opportunities, not just more opportunities, bigger opportunities and better opportunities. Freedom. They say, why do I keep saying it's coming? Because it's going to stay coming at you guys. The punch is never going to stop, whether you like it or not. Freedom is coming. Okay. Thank you to everybody that tuned in and watched us around the world. We appreciate you guys. Anything that we can do to make it better, we will make it better, inshallah. So thank you. Goodbye. Salam alaikum to everybody around the world.